I'm Brian.
I'm John.
I'm Doug.
And we're QUOR, and you're in the belly.
Belly!
Hi, this is Sally with DaBelly.com, and we're here with QUOR. This is Brian.
Hello.
This is Doug. And this is John. And we're going to start off with asking you about your new album. Tell me about it.
New album is actually a 2 CD record if you buy it in the physical form. And it is 4 songs off of a previously released album that we'd put out, and it felt right to put them together and do it in a full push. And so 2 CDs, and it tells a great story of the project so far. The second part of it is Human Paradigm, and that is the most recent work and probably the most personal work of the band so far.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, now that was released, in September, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
September 10th.
September 10th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one of the songs that's getting the most praise out of it, I guess, and actually won an award, which we'll talk about it a little bit later, is Let's Rise. Tell us about the song a little bit.
The song is more a kind of a rally point, I guess. It's just about living in the world today and kind of living the way that you want. You know, you got a lot of voices telling you this way or that, or what's right and what's wrong, and the song is really about rising above that and seeing things the way that you need to.
Cool. Now, when did you guys actually write that song?
That song, from the first concept of that song?
Yeah, I mean, how did that come about, and when did you actually sit down and write it?
You know, I'd say that song started from a riff I think that Doug was working on the bass in the beginning, and that was probably a couple of years ago. And then we actually sat on that one for a little while and developed it, and so what it is now.
Cool. Now, I know that it had won an award at the Indie Fest.
Right, for the film.
How did you guys come up with the concept, and tell us about it, because I don't know if everybody's seen it. I've seen it, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Awesome.
So tell me about it. How did you guys come up with that?
Well, some years ago, I was sitting with a friend. His name is Laser 5000. That's his real name. And we were having some beers, and he has some pretty cool concepts for films. He's a film guy. And he had an idea that was kind of a runoff of Weekend at Bernie's, but he called it Dead Man's Party, and he said he wanted to shoot a video where he had a short film where there were a whole party of people, and they were all dead, and they were wearing party hats, and so more of a comedic take of it. And so as we were talking about that, for some reason, I just drew a line with it to this song, and I thought, that would be a great concept for a band, because sometimes you pull into a club and there's lots of people, and sometimes you pull in and it's dead. And so, how do you fill that club up? And so then there came the concept of then going to a graveyard and creating your own audience out of all these dead folks. And then as the concept kept growing, then it was, all right, they'll come alive during the song and then they'll die at the end of it. And then we got more creative with it. And the idea behind the film was to do something along the lines of a mid-'80s, early '90s horror type film, and use no CGI in it, so everything was all practical effects, I guess is what you would call it. So none of us had taken on a project like that for film, and we just decided, let's try it out. So we were really honored to have it be recognized and get awards and stuff like that for it.
Right. I just thought that it was the most unique concept. I'm like, wow, check this out. I mean, everybody's like dead. I was like, I'm a really big fan of Walking Dead, so
Cool.
I was like, oh wow, this is so
we
cool.
Had a great makeup guy that came from Los Angeles, and we set up a crew of makeup artists and him in particular, and it was unbelievable that we were able to process it the way that we were, because I think they did 35 makeups, and that was during the break of maybe an hour. So we ate pizza and had beer, and then they did the makeups, and they were back in. So it went way too efficiently. It should not have been that easy as what it seemed like. It was a lot of work, but
Right.
there should have been more bumps in the road for sure.
Right. Now, was that filmed down in San Diego where you guys are at a local club, or?
All of it was in San Diego. That was difficult part was finding locations. One, a bar that would allow us to come in, and that bar is now, I don't know if they've reopened or not, but it closed shortly after. But they were really cool. And, we were even putting screws in the ceilings to hang the ropes off and all this stuff. And the graveyard was the most difficult thing to find because, one, for ethical reasons, and being kicked out of a place, and, you wouldn't be able to drive shovels in front of a grave necessarily in a real graveyard. And it took quite a few months to find the right location. And we found a park in old San Diego where it was a graveyard in the past, but they had changed it into a park. And the story behind it was the neighbors were sick of people going in there and getting drunk and knocking over headstones and that kind of shit. And so the city came in, threw all the headstones into a gorge right next to that, and then just made it a park. And the public was like, wait, we didn't ask for this. So they actually had to go back and dig up all the bodies and replace them. So then they took all the gravestones that they could salvage, and they made a little park in the back where you could go. So we were able to go there till 10 o'clock and shoot. So it really worked out great, and there's no bodies under the ground, so we could drive shovels into the ground and all that. So it made the scene that much more cool.
Wow, that is just really cool. I just thought, you guys got to check out that video because Let It Rise video is awesome. Anyway, that's my take on it.
Cool.
Thank you.
You worked with Dan Whitman on your one song, which is the title track.
Human
Right.
Paradigm,
Right. Why just the one song? I mean, he's done so many other things and have worked with so many other bands. What brought you to do just that one song and not the whole album? Not to say that there was anything wrong with the gentleman down in San Diego that you worked
Right, Christian. Yeah, both of them are fantastic engineers. Camp Leader Dan, as we call him. We wanted to go outside of San Diego and see if we could record a commercially viable track in one weekend. We just wanted to go down and knock a track out and just do it to challenge ourselves. And so Dan invited us down, and he said, why don't you just come and you can stay inside the studio. We got room, and there's a rehearsal room. You can just camp out in there. So that's why we call him Camp Leader Dan. We took it literally, and we brought tents and picnic tables and all that shit. So when he walked into the room, we literally had our stuff in the next morning. We worked all day. I mean, it was long days. Woke up in the morning, and I opened up my tent, and I can just hear the guitar amps just blazing at 9 in the morning. Man, it's glorious. It's really cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So how was it working with Christian down in San Diego then for the rest of the album?
Fantastic. We've worked with Christian in the past, and he is a very meticulous and rigid engineer, so it's great to work with him.
He's got a good vision too.
Did he help you keep? Both men are very well known in their field.
Right.
So I was wondering, did they help you with the concepts with your album to make sure you got across what you wanted to get across?
Yeah, I mean, they not as much to wear a producer's hat, but I would say they help us, get the product that we want. Absolutely, and they guide us along the way. They're like our mentors in the studio, and they help us do our thing, and they help us create an environment inside the studio that's not tense, and it's relaxed, and we can get the best out of everybody in the band. And absolutely,
Keep the craziness in check.
keep the craziness in check.
Yeah.
Behave yourself.
Yeah, especially this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as you can tell, I'm so rambunctious by how vocal I am.
Oh, that's funny. Tell us a little bit about how you came to name it QUOR. It's QUOR.
QUOR. Doug, you want to take that one?
Right?
Well, we were, going through the same process that all the bands go through and looking for a name. And, we got tired of the Dead Blood Red Dying's Day and all these stupid 3-word band names. And the trends have kind of got a little ridiculous. And so we just wanted something simple and something unique and something kind of cool. And one day him and his wife went to a comedy show up in Solana Beach in Southern California. And it's right along the one there. So sometimes the marine layer comes in and it gets a little foggy. And these guys were coming home one night and super foggy, and out of the fog comes this bright yellow vertical sign that just said QUOR, QUOR, because it was a liquor store sign and the L and the I had burned out. So, steps on the brakes, takes a photo, texts it to us, and we're like, yes, that is done. Next thing. And ever since, that was it.
Awesome. So you're a three-piece band, and I know.
Dragon.
Pardon?
Three-headed dragon.
The three-headed dragon.
Yes.
Did you write a song called the three-headed dragon?
All the songs are about three-headed
Yeah, all of
dragons.
them.
Oh, there you go.
Know
Awesome.
all about that.
Awesome.
What
Cool.
I told you earlier about what Let's Rise is about, I lied. It's about a three-headed dragon.
Three-headed
Eating
dragon.
snacks
Oh, there you go.
Taking
Eating
naps.
snacks. Taking naps.
and taking naps.
And taking naps. Sounds good. But anyway, we've been coming across more three-piece bands lately. Why have you chose to go three-piece and not make it 4 or 5?
We had no intention either way when Doug and I first started playing. We just wanted to play some music, and the next viable piece was percussion. And then, I don't think that we really meant to do that or not. And as we played, one was, can we create a full sound with just us? And if we can do that, then great, because you've got less bodies, less brains, and it worked well for us.
More room in the band.
Right, and that's something to consider.
More
Really
room for
is.
gear.
So it's
Look,
worked
you can
well.
add to your drum kit.
Right, we can add more pieces.
Naps
do
coming
more-
up.
Do more cool stuff. A lot of room on the stage, and we like to move around. So I personally, I've liked the challenge of it, because you have to write different for a three-piece band. You really have to think about what you're doing, and that you are a three-piece for live and for tracking. So there's a difference, in that. So with multiple guitars or other things, you have more filler points. And without it, when you're a three-piece, you've got to think about where the holes are. So, or to use those holes wisely. And I think it really helps you to make dynamics in your music, personally.
Sound good. What about you?
Yeah.
He goes,
This is probably the first band that I've ever been in where it's allowed me to use everything in my repertoire as a musician, not just one end of it. When I met the two of them, they were, guys who had ballad rock elements, heavier elements, more on the metal end of it. So this is the first band that I feel like I've ever been a part of where I can just give it everything I have as far as, my musical ability. So
That's good, and that is unique in the fact that you're able to do that. And I think that it will show your talents more, right?
yeah.
right when you said
Yeah.
ballad points, I heard Lionel Richie coming from the bar next to us, which I think, as we discussed, is a dance bar for
Yeah.
the erotic
ladies' dance
type
bar.
of dance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. Well, that's what I heard anyway. But
I love dancing. I'm a
Yeah.
good dancer myself.
there you go. I just like to watch. No. What do you see for the band for 2016?
Awesomeness.
That's a good one.
A lot of it.
Awesomeness.
Yeah. We'll be
Yeah.
busy next year. We'll be on the road a lot.
Cool. Coming back through here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We come through Arizona pretty frequently, so we'll definitely be back here, and we'll probably see most of the states, and I think it appears we'll get over into Europe again next year.
Awesome. You're going to be doing festivals here as well as in Europe?
Sure.
Awesome. That's really cool. What do you see in store for the fans for 2016? Is there any new music coming out that they can look forward to?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we got plans to put out a release or two. We've been doing things in EPs, and we've found a good flow with that. I don't know that we'll release a double ever again, but we find that in the with the modern landscape, we're able to do that, and I like the flow of that. We like it. We're able to go through, and if we have a lot of stuff that we're working on, we can pick some that we really think can go out now, and get in there and concentrate on putting out a good 4 songs instead of 1 or 2 good ones and 9 that just put them in there. I think the days of that are going away, because one, the public and the way that our minds are growing, we want more content faster, and EP's a great way to do that. Singles and EPs.
Right. And I also
We're not opposed to doing a record. We might do that too, but
I also think too that the fans are that way too.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they want to
Keeps
hear.
it fresh.
Yeah. Now, do you all collaborate on the music? I know that you, Doug, and you, Brian, have been mainly the writers of the band. But John, now that you're a part, are you starting to take more on that?
In terms of melody, not really. I kind of let them have free reign over that because there's way, that's like a whole other world worth of stuff that I don't really want to focus on. For me, in terms of, structure and rhythm and constructing how everything flows, I mean, I would say, I've never wanted to play beats as a drummer. I've always wanted to participate in the musical experience and be a part of the song and really just go with the vibe and the energy of it. So
Cool. And what about you, Brian? Doug.
Hey, that's all right. We're all kind of.
Yeah.
Sometimes the three heads of the dragon get confused. Like,
There you go.
it's hard to be the dragon.
When I'm the
Yeah. A couple cities and we're like all yeah. Start all smelling the same. It's kind of bad.
one
But
dragon, one name.
one dragon, one name. That's it. So I'm like a big melody guy. So I'm a big melody guy. I play a lot by ear. I have a lot of feel. So my strengths for music are feel and groove. Obviously, I'm a bass player. But I just like to write and keep it exciting. And if we're gonna make it slow, let's make it slow. And if we're gonna make it heavy, let's make it heavy. And if we're gonna make it singy and pretty, let's make it pretty.
There you go. Also, too, is and then I'm almost to the end of the interview. So, is there anything else that you guys would like to share?
Going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because
No, not going to Disneyland.
can't see Shamu anymore.
Just thank you to everybody for your support, all the fans out there. Appreciate it a lot. And the support this year has been phenomenal. It's only getting bigger and stronger and growing, and the snowball is rolling. And it's the fans, man. That's what makes it happen. We do this part of it, and they do their part, and we all win.
There you go. Anything you want to say to the fans?
what he said.
What do you say? Anything you'd like to share?
I'd go with everything he just said too. Yeah, we've been very humbled by the way that this has grown in the last couple months. Even it's kind of crazy for us.
Yeah, it is. You guys been getting really well noticed, and a lot of good feedback and everything like that. So you guys are gonna, I'm sure, prosper from here.
Want to hang out, play some rock and roll, and meet
Drink
good
some beer.
people.
There you go.
It's nice to see something. Anything extra is bonus to us. So
There you go. Well, if you catch us at NAMM, in January, don't be shy. Say hi.
Absolutely.
Thinking about